What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We bringing back Two Man and a Lady, and I'm so super excited to have Katie Talk One on One and Conscious TV.
Hi.
Hi. When Conscious TV first came on, they was throwing some shade talking about when he gonna be on Queen Supreme Court. So
never.
So we have a full show today that we're gonna talk about Joe Budden, we're gonna talk about Kevin Samuels, and we're also gonna talk about Nicki Minaj. But I want to open up this up because I went out with Dane, one of the moderators last night, to Monique's show. And is it possible for a man and a woman to be friends without it being sexual? I want to ask you that. I want to start with you, Katie, since you're the woman here. Is it possible for you to have a male friend while you in a relationship?
Okay, I think it's like a 3-part answer that I got for that one. If first of all, yes, that's the first one. Yes. Second of all, I think if you are not sexually attracted to that person, I think that's very important, because if this is a person that you will look at in your sober mind, look at them, you're friends with them, and if you look at them and think they're attractive, imagine if you're hanging out and people drinking and whatever. Sometimes friends have vulnerable moments, even if it's a friend of your same sex. Y'all have vulnerable moments where y'all talk about certain things and you console them, and you're consoling this friend that you think attractive. I don't think it could work. And I think lastly, I think this is just another part of it. When you have opposite sex friends, sometimes it could cause a rift in your actual relationship. That's just what I think. What do you think, Conscious?
Well, I agree with everything you just said. And before we get started, Wiley, I thought this show was called Two Men and a Lady. It's like one man and two ladies here.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. If you want to, okay. We'll
right.
just say one man, two ladies. Okay.
Don't mind me. So
that is funny. The shade.
I like the framing of. So the framing of the question is really interesting. Is a cis hetero man and a cis hetero woman capable of having a friendship? Capable would be yes. However, I think it's also perfectly natural because of the way the creator created heterosexual dynamics for a man and a woman to be naturally attracted to one another. So I wouldn't be surprised if men and women who are attempting to be friends still from time to time deal with a certain level of attraction, or maybe sometimes go through moods where maybe they think about each other in that way, because those are natural dynamics when it comes to sexual orientation. So capable, yes, but I can't understand why there are men and women who don't feel comfortable with their partners having friends of the opposite sex, because they know that natural organic things take place even if your intention is for this person to be my friend. And so me and you have an altercation, me and you getting into it, our relationship is going through it's difficult, it's complicated phase. You have a female friend of the opposite party, you're confiding in her. There are natural things as a man you're bound to feel due to this woman supporting you emotionally, supporting you mentally, and now you're daydreaming about, well, wow, what could be, there could be more here. And so without going down the rabbit hole too far, capable, yes, but I think it's also natural for men and women to entertain feelings of attraction romantically, sexual, etc., because sexuality is an organic thing that has its own identity and its own functionality.
Yeah, right, I agree. I think if you're single, then I think it can work. But I think if you get in a relationship, if that man is not secure in the relationship, it's going to be a problem. Like, why you always hanging out with Wiley? Oh, that's just my friend. That's just my friend. That's whatever. But y'all laughing too much. You know what I'm saying? So that could cause issues and problems. But a man is visual. You know, they look. And if you're beautiful, you're beautiful. And a man, you know, it is what it is. So you can be attracted to your friend. You just don't have to act on that attraction. Because then you'll be like, oh no, she ain't all that. If she's all that, she's all that. But I also believe that if you are friends with a woman, you a man, that, you know, if you get in a relationship, it can change. I think it can change because that man is not going to like the fact that you always, because you just let's flip it. What if you a woman and your man had a female friend? You'll feel some type of way. Especially if she looks better than you, especially she got a better body than you, you know, you're going to start throwing little digs and you're going to feel some type of way. So I just think that same approach or that same attitude applies when you are friends with someone that's a female. Because when I was at the show last night, we went to go see Monique. We was in a line, me and Day. And the lady was like, oh, she was like, are y'all a couple? She was like, no, we friends. Oh, y'all just friends? Oh, I wish, you know, and so like, you know, like, why can't, and they said, why can't men and women be friends? And I'm like,
oh, yeah, it's a song called that, Wiley. Why can't we be friends? Right. Why can't we? Hey, but you know what? There's also a song called You Make Me Want to Leave the One I'm with, start a new relationship with you. This is what we do. And that's a song about a girl and a guy that are just friends.
Wow.
I love it.
And speaking about Monique, she was friends with Sydney before. They were best friends, and now they're married now. So it is what it is. So I just think people should be cautious of it, but I'm okay with it. I could be friends, even if you're gay. I've seen some guys was friends with women, and they start having a sexual relationship.
Yeah,
I witnessed that happening, and it was a shocker. I'm like, what? Really? You was into that? But you could develop these feelings. It's just natural, I think.
It's natural because just keeping it real on the woman's side, you know, not pointing any fingers and saying all women are lesbians, but there's a lot of women that had sex with their friend. That's a woman.
Father. See, this is why it just need to go ahead and convert into a no friends campaign once you in a relationship. I don't trust you around your homeboys. I don't trust you around your homegirls. I don't trust you around your straight friends, your gay friends. We just gonna be friends and be together.
Thank you. Because when I'm in a relationship with a guy, if he hanging around his homeboy too tight, if these like two thieves in the pod, I'm gonna be looking like
So let me ask you this question. Katie, as a woman, are you threatened by your romantic partner being very, very close friends with a gay male? Like, would that bother you if he was super close?
I'll look at it sideways. Like if he's just a trapping street type of dude and he doing a little business with him or something, and they come around, hey, they get what they got to get and get on. You know, this just a cool guy like that. But I mean, one thing about it, if you've been with a guy that's a hustler and he work in the streets or whatever, they're going to deal with different type of people. So if you friends with females, you can be friends with dancers and all that, you know. But if you friends, no, friends. When I'm your friend, I'm supposed to be your friend. You know, that's just how it is when it comes to me. I'm just saying how I am. And you want to try to prevent the mess before the mess can even happen. Because stuff like that.
So you're telling me that if I was your man's friend before he even found you on Plenty of Fish and Tinder, and we been good homeboys, go to the movies together, just boysing it up, and then I come into the picture, and you going sideways me?
No, if y'all go to the movies, I'm going with y'all. It ain't gonna be it's just a friend night. Katie gotta stay at home. Why Katie gotta stay at home? If that's your friend, that's my friend too. We all friends.
That's fair. Thank you.
I think most women will agree with you on that. They will look at that man strange, you know. I would look at that man strange, like, hey, like, what's really going on here? You know, but, you know, I think the politically correct term would be, oh, you know, be open-minded. Don't be closed-minded. He can have friends if they're gay, who cares? But in reality, we're not going to think like that. The rumor's going to start. They're going to be like, "Hey, Katie, why your man always hanging out with conscious? Like, what's the tea? What's going on right there?"
But you know what? I got a feeling like Katie wouldn't be threatened if that gay friend was 600 pounds plus with no teeth in his mouth, with one single strand of hair on his head, smelling like mustard sour puss every day. Probably wouldn't have a problem with us going to the movies alone together.
I'll be like, go on and go. Tell me what the movie like.
So I want to talk about Joe Biden. The CDC came out and they said, hey, you don't have, if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask anymore, and you go out and crash without a mask. How did y'all, I don't know if y'all vaccinated, but how did y'all feel about that answer from the CDC or from the Joe Biden administration? Did that make you feel like, hey, I'm not going to wear a mask anymore? I'm done with the mask. Like, how did you take that?
Well, once I first heard about, the mask lift, I was initially excited. And where I work at, we, like us, the workers, still have to wear the mask. But it's a choice if the client want to wear it or not wear it. Most of them choose not to, but it's still some that do. But from my knowledge of how everything goes, you wearing the mask protects the other person, not you. So if we're in a vicinity where some wearing it and some not, it's just exposing everyone. So I think everybody should still wear it because, I'm not vaccinated myself, but, for the people that are, they can still, get it. This vaccine doesn't stop you from getting it. And I don't know how long it lasts, but it's the type of thing that you're going to have to get maybe yearly. I don't know if they made that, into play, or they're going to put that out in the law that you do have to get it similar to a flu shot. But this, everything just really not making sense to me. But I was excited about the mask lift because it's good to have a choice whether you want to wear it or not.
Yeah.
Conscious.
I have a lot of thoughts about the whole mask situation. Like everybody's saying in the comment section, I know that the mask, well, it's not that the masks don't work at all. It's just that they don't work at the level that the CDC is hyping it up to be. Like, the droplets of spit are actually small enough to actually move through the fabric and the material of a mask, especially if you have a cloth mask. But having a mask on your face does protect you largely from all of the mucus sprayed through the air when you're either talking or coughing, spitting, etc. And so there is a layer of protection. It's just not something that's 100% safe proof. For me, I just recovered from COVID like just 2 minutes ago. Like, I was on my ass for 3 weeks, and it was the worst experience of my life. And I didn't even endure every symptom. I just suffered from extreme fatigue. Like, I would sleep for 8-10 hours and wake up as if I never slept at all. I was exhausted, and I felt like that for almost 3 weeks. So for me, wearing this mask, as far as I'm concerned, America is China, and I will be wearing this mask for the next 2 years of my life, along with continuing to social distance. I'm already stuck up and bougie and don't really mess with people like that anyway. So it's gonna be easy for me to stay to my damn self. But yeah, I don't think we're going to be out of the ballpark, because what I saw from Americans over the span of this pandemic was crazy. Like, people were still partying, people were still being reckless, and I just need more time to feel comfortable feeling free again. And I don't think I'm going to feel that way until probably this time next year.
Yeah,
right.
I'm fully vaccinated, and I still wear my mask, and I work in healthcare, still wear the mask. And because I just don't want to take it home, I don't want to give it to nobody, because you could be walking with it and don't show any symptoms and pass it on to your aunt, your uncle, or whomever who are around you. So of course I'm gonna still wear my mask. The problem that I have with Joe Biden administration is you're sending out mixed signals. Don't wear the mask, but if you develop symptoms, put the mask back on. Like, that is, I think that's quite dangerous to put that out so early. They could have just said, wear the mask, continue to wear the mask until about 80 or 90% of Americans are vaccinated. Then you can come out, the CDC come out and say, hey, y'all don't have to wear the mask, y'all could be in crowds. But saying that right now and everybody's not vaccinated, people that's not even vaccinated still, they're going to say, oh, I'm not going to wear a mask. I wasn't wearing the mask in the first place, so I'm definitely not going to wear the mask because the CDC just had a meeting at our job. And our administrator said, listen, we still got to wear the mask. We're in a healthcare setting, even though the CDC said we still in healthcare, so we still have to comply and wear a mask. Walmart announced, hey, you don't have to wear a mask, come here. So is this going to be an issue and a problem? Because most people that's not vaccinated going to comply and say, hey, I don't need to wear a mask. And that ain't going to do nothing but spike the cases up and put the cases back, if you don't comply with that. So please wear your mask. Have your hand sanitizer and put on the proper mask. Don't have them small masks on. Get something that can cover your nose and your mouth, not just your mouth and your nose. It's just out there, and just because you wearing a shield, cover your mouth because that shield ain't gonna really protect you. Put on the mask. And one thing, the mask. If you look at the flu, it went down. People are not really catching the flu like that because people are wearing a mask and you're not really, you know what I'm saying? Everybody is kind of protecting themselves, but if everybody listens to Joe Biden and the CDC and say, hey, I'm not going to wear a mask anymore, them cases going to spike up. And my family just had the COVID. My grandmother had it, my mother had it, my sister had it, my uncle had it, my aunt. They had it at the same time because they have church services and you can wear a mask if you want to. You don't have to wear a mask. So that's dangerous. So you got to be very careful.
I will be catching the Holy Ghost several kilometers away from you, sugar. Okay, don't wear your mask. I'm going to be over here with God while you over there with the Lord.
They need to say no Holy Ghost to the COVID over.
Right. And, or online. You don't have church services online. You have to be very careful because it can creep up on you and it's silent. It don't make any noise. It's just whoop. You just got it. It's just like the AIDS epidemic. It was something silent. You really did. This is what if you ever had to look at a recent era, right? Because you look at what's going on in India. Look how it's just running rampant in India.
Apocalypse. It's an apocalypse over there.
Yeah, it's really sad, and they're not prepared for it. America was the same way. They wasn't prepared. They didn't take it serious because the government, Trump didn't take it serious. He said, get some bleach, get some alcohol, whatever. It ain't that serious. It just go away like the flu. And look what happened. We lost a lot of people when it first started. And India is really, really going through. I have friends that have family back in India, coworkers that have family back in India, and they say it is terrible.
Yeah, I heard about it.
So I'm like, I'm still wearing my mask.
Over in India, they're burning bodies in the streets. Like they have people literally just dead out in the open from COVID over in India. Like it's insane.
And my thing is this, they already don't have a proper healthcare setting like America. Their setting is not like us. We're very advanced, you know what I'm saying? So their healthcare system not that advanced like that. And you're dealing with a pandemic. Like, oh my gosh, like I just can't take it. Now, are y'all gonna take the vaccine conscious, Katie?
Nope. I don't. I'm gonna say this. I don't plan on it.
Okay.
I don't plan on it, but let me tell you this. I don't know. Let's see, today's Sunday. This had to be like Thursday. Our president said you can get vaccinated and don't have to wear it, or if you don't, you do have to wear it. The choice is yours. So it's like we're getting pushed off into an era where we're gonna have to maybe get it done if you want to do simple things like fly and probably other things. I heard getting up in like a state building, they're gonna start trying to make it where you gotta have like an ID to go into any state building. It's like if you go into the DMV or you gotta go and check on your check, your social security, whatever. You gotta go in these buildings. You're gonna have to have this ID, and to get the ID, you're gonna have to show that you got the vaccination. So I don't plan on getting it, but just truthfully, if I gotta take care of business, I get it.
Mm-hmm. So some jobs going to make it mandatory. I know my job that I work at, they're starting about to make it mandatory. That's what they're going to do. They're going to force people to take it. They're going to make it mandatory. They're going to say, hey, your kids can't come back to school unless they're vaccinated. Eventually, that's going to happen. If Americans don't comply, they're going to change the law and say, oh, it's going to be mandatory, which is sad they have to do that. But I guess they look at it. We want these cases to be down. We tired because they're not going to shut down this country again. I don't think that will ever happen again. Because they lost a lot of money. The casinos lost a lot of money. Vegas was like a ghost town. New York was like a ghost town. And all that money and all those businesses that was lost. But it's another thing, though. With all that being said, it is still some people out here don't take COVID serious. They still will be in. Even though I went to Monique's show, majority of the people that I saw, they had on masks, which was great. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that we need to still comply. I think when we do that, we could be in crowds. Just have your mask on because you still can out there and keep in there. You take a little sip of your drink, put your mask back on, hand sanitizer. And if everybody worry about their health, the cases will go down. But it's some people that don't care. They want to sneeze on you. And please don't sneeze on. I think that's very dangerous. That's just like calling somebody the N-word now. If you sneeze and cough.
Yeah,
that is so true because me personally, I just got over a cold. I have sinus issues.
Me too.
I've been having them all my life since I was a little girl. Every time, the pollen season come around, I catch a sinus infection like all the time. And then I catch a cold at the same time. And I go like a good 2 weeks where I just got a little slight cough and, my nose running. It's just crazy. I'm down south where a bunch of trees at. It's crazy, the pollen. So I cough. And then, some people looking like, I'm only human. Come on.
I have the sniffles, and they be like, oh, what's going on? You got the wrong?
Yes. You see how they did Nicki Minaj when she was on the live?
Right. We're going to talk about it. Go ahead, Conscious.
I was going to say, y'all was scaring the hell out of me talking about every job gonna have to mandate situations and they gonna make COVID doing this because let me tell you, I'm about to kind of go left on this topic just a little bit, but honestly, I feel like there is a spiritual wickedness that is coming into fulfillment. I do believe that there are aspects of biblical prophecy that is manifesting in our world. This attempt to turn America into a communist, socialist nation, one world government, trying to get rid of physical currency, digitalize everything. And I think these are the perfect circumstances with COVID and them mandating things to ultimately prep the collective to receive a mark of the beast, whatever that's going to look like. And I think if we don't push back as a people against being forced against our will to comply with the government, that our own constitution says that we have a constitutional right to resist and ultimately a constitutional right to dismantle and destroy altogether if the people are not satisfied with their government. If we don't push against this is just one more step closer to lubricating Americans, buttering Americans up, buttering the masses up to receive something that's going to have more metaphysical consequences, more spiritual consequences than what I think we ever could imagine. And I don't like, and it doesn't feel, I'm not comfortable with the idea of them mandating because I know exactly where this is going. What else are we going to have to give up in terms of our privacy, in terms of our rights, and ultimately our soul eventually to this system?
But that's our country, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Mandate us to get insurance. If you don't have insurance, you go to jail. Your car will be impounded. So we already have rules. I think even now in some public schools, they're not going to accept your children if you don't have, I guess, certain shots that you're supposed to have. It's certain rules and regulations. They're going to do it. It's just going to happen. These jobs, if the numbers, if they want their job to be, because number one, they want to protect the money. If you can't, it's bad business when your workers at home recovering from COVID. So you want to make sure that they are protected so they can continue to do their job. Already, you got to look at it right now with the economy right now. A lot of people sit at home because they're getting their extra $300 a week. So
and I hate that.
Yeah, they're not willing to go back. And when I look at it, Katie, talk one-on-one and conscious, I say, hey, pay the people more money. The simple thing to do is Pay us more money so they don't have to stay at home. It's a shame that people made the most money as a worker being at home on unemployment when you was getting that extra $600 a week. That was a lot of that was money for people that was just on minimum wage. So what I tell my Republican colleagues, well, I say my brothers, I'm gonna say brothers and sisters. I said colleagues like I work with them, that they should increase the minimum wage to at least $15 to $16 an hour. That just increases a start pay. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a shame that you making more money sitting at home than work. Is it unfair for the people that's working? Yes, because people still going to regular jobs. You still make, and I work at a job and the check wasn't hitting on nothing. And I was like, man, I could probably, you know what I'm saying? And it's unfair when Pookie them is at home making all this extra money just sitting at home.
Just chilling, eating lobster tails and shrimp.
Right. And you at home and you're working extra because these jobs they don't have the people anymore like that. It's everywhere. We're hiring. So they're trying to, because now everybody is traveling a lot. I mean, at the airport it was packed. I mean, the planes are full. Like people are now traveling more, and they're getting outside the house. So now you need the workers, especially in McDonald's, all the service jobs in hotels. They need housekeepers, but you just got to pay these people more to make them come back that way instead of just telling them we'll kick you off unemployment. No, while we do this, we're gonna pay you like $16, $17 an hour to be a healthcare worker, to be a home health aide. That's nice. That's a good amount of money. They're making $90 an hour.
That's a good point, Wiley. That's so true, because you can't say, okay, we're gonna take the $300 that you get extra a week. You need to get back to work. No, if we get back to work, you need to increase the pay, and that's where the people are gonna have to join together and stand up, and we're gonna have to protest. But you see, the way they're trying to change the laws is that protesting eventually will be illegal to do. So they're very strategic how they're putting it out. They're putting it out where we as a people are going to have to stand up against them, but they're trying to make laws where you can't stand up against them.
Facts. You're right.
But these platforms like this.
End of the world, Book of Revelation.
It's in there.
That's so true, Wiley. They're so true. But you got to still think like this, though, Wiley. Biden was talking about $15 an hour mandatory for minimum wage. You got to think when it comes to places like California, New York, Oregon, Chicago, that $15 ain't nothing to them.
It's not nothing.
They still going to be struggling. They're still going to struggle. So the people that are not making the 15 need to be at 15, and y'all need to decide how much you're going to increase the other places.
But this is the issue too. The system is designed to sustain itself. So even if they were to mandate $15 an hour, what's ultimately inevitably going to happen is inflation, which is really going to cancel out the fact that they rose minimum wage, because the cost of living is going to go up with the fact that you are earning more on a dollar now. And so, but that's the way capitalism is designed. It's a monster, and they're trying to create it in such a way that it's self-operative, so that even if you take your hands off of it, no matter what you ultimately do, you're still being enslaved to that system.
Yep.
I agree.
That's why I believe it's going to take an absolute revolt. Like what Katie was saying with protesting, boycotting, and a real collective pushback against the powers that be in this world. That's what it's ultimately going to come down to.
And it's going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
Yes. It already happened, Wiley, when they raided the Capitol.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
They went against it. They didn't go against it in, that type of way is dealing with minimum wage. But they went against it because they felt like their vote did not get counted.
Yeah, you're
right. So that's the start, and it took some plumbers showing their butt crack and some welders that did it. Some country, old Jim out of the woods. He the one who went up again. Old Jim said he ain't having it.
Look, I saw a statistic that said that with current minimum wage, which I think is it was like between 7 and 8 is what they consider to be minimum wage. There is nowhere in this country, not anywhere, I'm talking about not even the worst of Queens, not even the worst of Brooklyn, not even the worst of Detroit, not even nowhere in the worst of Chicago, not even in the most deplorable communities and neighborhoods can you live independently off of minimum wage. That is an atrocity.
Thank you. Thank you. And the saddest thing is that when you're living under that, umbrella where you're in poverty, and then you got somebody trying to tell you why you get those food stamps. Why are you on Section 8? How the heck am I going to make it? Am I going to get with 15 or 20 other family members and we live in a 4-bedroom apartment?
Hell nah.
Is that how you want us to live? That's how we lived back when we was on the boat. We was stacked on top of each other during slavery. It was illegal for a slave to own a house. So we were in houses with no bathrooms, out here just camping it out, just trying to survive. Do you want us to go back to that? Come on, you got to work with me. I work with you.
I feel you on that. So we want to get into Kevin Samuels. He is a new YouTube. Well, not a new YouTuber. He's a successful Black YouTuber that his base is Black men. And some people say, hey, he criticized Black women. He's against Black women. He's really bad for the culture. So to you, Katie, and to you, Conscious, is Kevin Samuels good for the culture? How do you like what he's doing? And Katie, I'm going to talk with you. What do you have to say about it?
Yes, I want to talk about this. Okay, so when it comes to Kevin is, and I'm probably, can I talk about Black women?
Yes.
Okay, because I know sometimes there can be a startling word. They'll try to stop the video. But when it comes to Black women, Kevin Samuels is the get back for Black women. I'm going to say that first. But another thing is, I believe a lot of those phone calls are actually not real, and I'm going to tell you why. If anybody know Black women, we are very usually headstrong women. Not all of us, but a good amount of us are headstrong. What headstrong Black woman are you looking at that's going out here to talk to a man that's going to ask her how much she weigh, what's your dress size, how many kids you got, and how many baby fathers you got? Ain't no woman picking up the phone to talk to a man like that. That's why I think these phone calls are tried up. Not all of them, but a lot of them. ain't no.
You think it's all?
Come on, Wiley. What Black woman do you know? Let me call him. I wear a size 20, and I'm 5'4", and I'm gonna call Kevin Samuels. Kevin, tell me why I don't have a man. Tell me, Kevin.
I never had a woman call me and ask me no question like that. Not like that.
Wiley, why I don't have a man? So look, this man, you have seen him have these multiple videos with these different women going back and forth talking about this and what do they rate themselves. This man rate himself a whole 9. Is Kevin Samuels a 9? I'm gonna take a 2-people poll. Wiley and Conscious TV. Is Kevin Samuels a 9?
I think he dressed as a 9. He's very well dressed, but I don't think as looks. I don't think he's a 9 as looks. I think dress wise.
What do you
dress?
I agree. Dress is a 9. Looks a 5.
Yeah, thank you. Now that you say looks is a 5, because that's what I'm going off of. You can put lipstick on a pig and dress a pig up, and the pig gonna be like, oh, I like that food, but you still a pig. So I'm just saying there's a lot of pigs out here with lipstick, but he not a 9. And his mind is inflated the same way he trying to ask those women what number are them, and most of them say they are 8, 9, or 10, and he be like, nope, you a 4. You average at best. You a 3, 4. No. You said you a 9 just because you got on a nice tight suit. And unbutton the suit when you sit down, because it look like that button gonna go boom across the room and knock your camera out. Suit be so tight. I be like, is that plies, daddy?
That food is busting open. That food is growing every day.
He eating good from them YouTube chicks and stuff. But yeah, I don't. I wouldn't. And I'm gonna say this: out of a room full of females that I have sitting and talked to, 5, 6 of us, wouldn't none of them call Kevin Samuels. The everyday woman that they say, the average woman that I know would not call Kevin Samuels. What are you women in the? I'm not looking at the chat or nothing like that, but what do you women in the audience think? Put up a 1 if you would call Kevin Samuels. Single ladies, put up a 1 if you would call Kevin Samuels and tell him your dress size, how much you weigh, how many baby daddies you got, how old are you? Come on, these too many questions. I'm like, this ain't real. What do you think, Conscious TV?
I'm not a fan and I'm not a hater. I'll be honest. I've only seen one snippet of Kevin Samuels because I'm just never into like the dating type of content anyway. I've been keeping up with a lot of the conversations and the controversy around him. So from what I understand about Kevin Samuels is he's considered to be a high value man. Also, Wiley would be considered a high valued man. Okay.
Wiley is a high value man.
Well, thank you. Okay. I'm glad you said that, even though they dragged me when I made the comment. But can we also say this though? Kevin Samuels is opening up a door for women that typically want to ask a man why they don't have a man, right? That's a void. That's the same way where when women will go to Oprah and how they have a relationship problems. He's offering that listening ear, but you also got to take him criticizing you. But you got to understand the era that Kevin Samuels come from the 70s. He's not an 80s baby. He's not a 90s baby. He come from a whole nother era. And how he look at it is, my mama talk about these men, so I'm going to flip it. I'm going to talk about these women and say, reason why y'all ain't got these type of men, because y'all want the certain type. And a lot of women want a man with money. They want a man with money. I want a woman with money too. I think, hell, if Kevin
Samuels said y'all don't care about the money, Wiley.
Kevin
Samuels said y'all don't care about the money.
Because I do care about the money because you need the money. Look at Candy. Look at Candy. Candy got a husband and Candy got all, she got the money. Look at Stedman and Oprah. So you do care about the money, but that's not the only thing, right? Because you got to do other stuff that you care about as well. But when women call into his show, they be asking them questions because a lot of them, they want to know why they can't get a man. And a lot of times, I'm going to tell you why. It's a lot of men that just don't like women anymore. You're competing against men that like men. You're competing against men that like transgender women. So already as black men, you have a lot of competition that for the certain group of men.
It's Sunday.
You might get a man that got money, but he like another man. You're gonna have to share him with a man and a trans woman. So that's just facts. It's only a few good men that like women only. It's not a lot of them exist. They out here.
You good men.
It's only a few good men, baby. So y'all all competing for that few. And y'all want to say, well, I need to lose the weight. That's why y'all in the gym wearing these straps and working out, sweating, putting on these wigs.
Wiley. You preaching now because I be up in the gym just strapped up.
I see it because y'all are trying to attract.
I'll be in the gym strapped up, boy. I'm like, can't breathe, walking and everything.
Right. So I'm like, I understand and I feel for black women because I think the best thing that we can do for a black woman is give them a black man. We need more of that. I was reading Candace Owens' book. I was reading her book, and what she wrote in that book is very true. The biggest problem that faced Black America is not having fathers in a home. 2-parent household, we don't have that anymore. It's like it's dwindling down. So we need to be more focused on that, but I don't think we ever get to those numbers what our grandparents was at because there's so much competition. We got what is that? The pansexuals. You got the people that won't eat everybody. Look what the lady said. Look what what's the daughter name? Will Smith's daughter Willow. She pretty much said that she's a what? What did she just say?
Polyamorous.
Yes. So you got the polyamorous. You got so much now that it's so different. So I do feel for the black woman because they want a black man with money. But what I got to tell you, the government is. You got to blame the government too, because once they brought in welfare, you got a man in the house. You can't get this welfare check.
Oh no, you gotta go.
That can work. Oh, you can't get this. So what they did, they pushed the man out of the household and kicked them out. And that's the era that Kevin Samuels was trying to talk about. So now you want a man, you need a man because the government can't keep you warm and they keep the heat on, but they can't satisfy like you really want to be satisfied. You what I mean? You know, be satisfied. So we as a man, we have to get training because some of us have not been trained properly. We had just a single mother. We didn't have fathers in the home, so we don't know how to be there for a woman. It's a lot of men out here, still boys. This is a song that K. Michelle, she wrote. She said, "You can't raise a man." And that's
and you know why you can't raise a man? Because in Memphis, the damn rent too damn high to be raising a damn man. So you ain't raising no damn man.
But oh, you know, for you to say that, Conscious TV, I was just thinking, and this just from what I've seen, a lot of women are out here raising little boys to be the men that they hate.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The main men that you say you hate, not all of us single mothers are like it, but some of us are raising these feminized boys when we make them mama boys, and we're raising that boy to be the one that we be on Facebook. I don't be on Facebook talking nothing about no me, but I see it I got almost 5,000 friends, and I see it every day. Women talking stuff about the same men who they raise and their sons.
Facts.
So how a lot of these guys are and how these generations have become, you see, a lot of women running. Sometimes I see relationships where the woman be straight running the man.
Yeah. Facts.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think a man should be out here like Ike Turner or nothing like that. But I like to see a man that's a manly man that's running his household. I like to see stuff like that. But I see a lot of women that keep control of the money. She she get his money and pay all the bills because he don't pay the bills. This man don't even probably know the number to call.
Especially if that woman makes more money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got a new era. I'm a boss bee. I'm a boss, but you lonely. You're a lonely bee. You're lonely. You don't have nobody. So with that, you got to know how to humble yourself. You may make more money than your husband, but you can't come up in there acting like you the boss. That's going to cause friction and problems in that relationship. And you're not going to keep a man and you always trying to tell him what to do and how to. You're going to push that man away and get somebody else. That's just not going to work. I won't want a woman telling me what to do at all the time. It's like she's my mama. Or you're going to get that man, okay, since you want to pretend to be my mama, I'm going to act like I'm going to be a teenager. I'm going to get the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to cheat on you. I'm going to get in your car. I'm going to drive up.
I'm going to get in your car.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I'm going to bring girls to the house while you at work.
Right.
Like, you know what? For me, it's not about me wanting or not wanting a woman to run me. I don't want to be with anybody who thinks that money equals power. Because in this country, and maybe it comes from capitalism, we've been conditioned to define money as authority and power, and therefore who has the money, who has the goods in a relationship ultimately has the last say so and the final word. And I don't think that's proper. That's one of the issues with men like Kevin Samuel, is that there's a lot of language around how you look, how big your titties are, what are your skill sets, how big is your dick, how do you dress, what do you look like, are you a 6 or a 5, and nowhere in the minutia of any of that is there a conversation around what is LOVE, because you're talking about very superficial, egoic, non-lasting attributes of a relationship that ultimately, if you're looking to be happy, it's not going to come down to whether you both are 6-figured or whether you both are a size 6 and fit. It's going to come down to whether you're with somebody who authentically loves you and is prepared not only for the best of times, but also prepared for the worst of fucking times. And so all of this conversation around money and looks, it's like I can't even deal with it because in my personal world, I'm moving from a philosophy of love. The material world is secondary. And if you're in a relationship and one partner makes more money than the other, I think it should be about your partner's input still being just as valuable, even if they were making equal wage. Because if you're in a relationship, no decision should be made unless it is a mutual one. And if you come to contention, you both should back up off of it until you guys can revisit it and find what the compromise is. That, I think, keeps a relationship healthy. It keeps respect between both partners instead of this objectification that comes when you make it about looks and you make it about money. You make it about who got the money and who got. I can't deal. I just can't. And so Kevin Samuels, people don't like him, but Kevin Samuels is speaking to those who have forgot they're looking for love. And I think a lot of people who call into his show are looking for love, but don't know that anymore. And they're listening to this man saying, hey, if you want a man, this is what you got to do. And then I think the expectation is, okay, then he'll love me. But unfortunately, all he's grooming Black women to do is to ultimately be a dumb Dixie, useless trophy wife, where a woman can't really have power and really have autonomy over herself, but really has to assume these bimbo attributes in order to gain a man who can take care of herself, instead of encouraging the women that they don't need a motherfucking man to be whole, especially not in an era where women are paying their own bills, where women are the CEOs and are actually boss bitches, where most Black women are actually the head of their household, providing for their children, being the mother and the damn father, and continuing to aid and abet Black women in having that level of independence and self-awareness, especially considering that the Black community has been completely exploited, destroyed, and turned inside out due to racism, due to patriarchy, due to sexism, due to colorism, and all the other motherfucking issues that have completely warped our community. And so seeing Black people be beautiful and be powerful, whether they are doing that as a couple or doing that independently, should be fucking encouraged. And I think we shouldn't necessarily just drive home this antiquated idea that women still need a white horse and still need a knight to come in and complete her fucking life, when she's fully capable herself of getting on that motherfucking horse and bringing a bacon home to her tribe. She's just as fucking capable, and she don't need a nigga to do that.
Yes, I love that.
Oh, I done.
I love that.
I still believe in an institution of marriage. I still believe in a 2-parent strong household. That is the foundation. The reason why Black people was able to survive so much in civil rights, one of the key components of that was family unit. We were unified with family, and we were able to focus on the real issue, which was white supremacy. Now we are so broken that family, even doing slavery, it was the family union. We would still want to get married. We'll jump the broom. We still got to believe in that, right? And you still need money. Like, you cannot be in a marriage and just broke. You're gonna be. You need some money. Let's just be clear. In this world, we need money. Money. Even the Bible, the scriptures say, "Money answereth all things." We need money. It's what
we need.
It also says, hold on, because it also says the love of money is the root of all evil too.
Right, for the love of it, exactly. But you still need it. It's about, you don't supposed to be in love with it and worship it. But you need it to survive, right?
Oh, Wiley, I think that we all know that that's a given, but I think we also see, when we talk about money, we don't realize that we are really talking about luxury. Because if we're talking about just needing money to live, that means that me and my partner can be in love and have a great relationship and live on the bare minimum. We don't need this unnecessary luxury and this unnecessary house and these unnecessary cars. But see, the issue is people want love, and they also want to participate in the world, and not only participate in the world, they want to indulge in the world. And unfortunately, a lot of the attributes and virtues of love, like empathy, modesty, humility, those things contradict the things that the world is offering you. And this is why oftentimes when you try to merge the two, it ends in divorce, it ends in separation, it ends in alimony. The relationship can't sustain itself because what love is asking you to do for real is to make a fucking choice. Make a fucking choice between me, love, and the world. And a lot of people,
I want both. I want
both too. But you also got to think like this: when people looking at what Kevin Samuels was talking about, what a woman dress size is and what is her rank and all that. If you look at, a good example, Good Times. What would you say that wife was on Good Times?
Wow.
But they were together and they were a solid family. And she wasn't a 10. She wasn't like Beyonce or Kelly Rowland or Rihanna. And she was married. A lot of women these days are, could be 8, 9, 10, but a lot of us are not out here married. So but you got to look at it like this too. The women that are calling his show do want a particular type of man and make a particular type of money. So he's saying those men with a lot of money, they're going to want you to look the part. Those men with a lot of money not gonna want you to come along with.
But in a sense of he's right. A man with money, they want a certain type, and that's why a lot of these black men with money, they get a white woman.
Yeah, they do. Or either they get a biracial woman or racially ambiguous. What racially ambiguous woman, and even those beautiful women that they get with, I'm gonna be honest. Like I got a brother that's a 6-figure type of guy, and he's married to a black woman, and she's brown skinned, but she's fit. She wears her own hair. She's educated, but she's maybe a tone brighter than me, but she's brown. She's like your color, Wiley. But like he was talking about the fit thing and all that. Another thing you probably heard Kevin Samuels say, Kevin said scientifically black women are not attractive.
Wow.
Kevin Samuels, he said that. And I seen this, and when I seen him say that, I really kind of stopped. I unsubscribed from him, but I still get him under suggestions. So every now and then I click on a hot topic, but I'm not subscribed to that. Because for you to say scientifically black women are not attractive, and you go by the European standard of beauty, I can't watch that. I can't support that.
I feel
with me being a black woman, with me knowing, a lot of black women. I don't have a black daughter, but if I did, I wouldn't want my black daughter to ever hear anything like that. And you see why black women walking around feeling so insecure. A lot of them walking around feeling like they gotta wear somebody else's hair, feeling like they gotta bleach their skin. When Tommy Lee on there on live, he admiring her. She just got lifted some shades lighter, look like she been doing some kind of procedure dealing with some bleach. I don't know, allegedly. But it's looking like she has lightened her skin. If you look at the first episode of her on Love and Hip Hop and compare it to that live, tell me if she did something to that skin. So you admire that black woman who has altered herself. That's who you admiring. You're saying, well, Tommy, you're the type of woman that you can do things that other women can't do. Oh, look at your eyes. Oh, it's a filter. Oh my God. Oh my. He's taking off his glasses, wiping his glasses. So you're trying to convince the black woman she needs to look more white in order to be up in the class to even be next to a high value man.
So are you saying that Kevin Samuels is giving colorist anti-black teas? Because I didn't know he said that.
Yeah, he said that. I'm gonna have to find the clip where he said that, and I'll most definitely later make sure I drop it down in the description box. So y'all make sure you come back, because when I find it, I'm gonna drop it.
And our last subject here, wow, we really went in on the Kevin Samuels subject, is Nicki Minaj. She's back, and she had the sniffles, and she said she liked to sniff some bleach and some. What else did she say she liked to sniff? She said she liked to sniff
bleach and alcohol and rubbing alcohol.
So, wow, is that a sign she's gonna be start sniffing coke? Like, is that like? How about this? I'm just saying, like,
don't you get no damn cease and desist from Miss Minaj? Don't you get no damn and no damn
allegedly
and no damn lawsuit with Nicki?
Allegedly.
But you know, I was listening to her live, and she was saying that she's still dealing with some pregnancy symptoms because when she was pregnant, she had these very bizarre cravings and not sniffing, but smelling alcohol, rubbing alcohol and bleach was just, you know, I was watching one of these like weird YouTube channels that have like all these weird stories on it. And one of the women, like her pregnancy craving was smelling gas. And so she would go to the gas station and just pump gas and sit there and like put her nose to the car where it was an automatic pump and then there's another woman who had a craving for chalk and so every now and again she would take a piece of chalk and just nibble on some chalk. She just had a craving for stuff. So pregnancy cravings are insane.
Oh wow!
Did you ever have a craving to sip some alcohol, some bleach, and some poop and all that?
No, but I did like Taco Bell. Ooh, I need a Mexican pizza. That's about it.
And you know, I've never been pregnant and I never will be pregnant. So when she said, I was like, okay, you know, and I'm gonna ask my mom, have she ever had some weird cravings like that, you know, sniffing alcohol and all that. But the rumor came out saying, oh, she's on coke, you know, and all that. Because you know your nose run, you know, the main thing they're gonna say, oh girl, he's on that booger strip. You know,
that woman says that she keeps her air on and she was getting, and it was hot in her house, and then she got her hair curled, and anybody who knows anything about weave and hair, you can't get this type of lay in humidity. So she had to turn on the air. And so that back and forth with the temperature is what made her nose run. And she's always been like that her whole life. And she was like, if y'all would ask anybody who's been around me in the studio, I always got a blanket. I'm always cold. I'm always sniffing. That's just what Nicki Minaj nostrils give.
I on that.
I believe it.
I can understand it because I have the sniffles. You know, it's got better. I don't know because I got, you know what I'm saying. I got the air off, and it's just the room temperature. But when I got that air on, I like coldness, baby. That nose be running like a running water. And I heard that. Do you think? I'm gonna ask you this question. I posed this question, and the Barbs dragged me. Yes, they did. They dragged me in my DMs, my emails. They just really dragged me. Do you think that Nicki Minaj should retire from music?
You know what? Before you get started, Wada, I'm gonna let you know. I knew you was gonna ask this damn question, and I put my damn platform on ghost damn mode because when we done, them damn Bobs ain't about to go find my damn platform and do a damn thing. So I sure put my shit on ghost mode because of you, Noble.
They dragged me, and I said, hey, she should retire. And when she came out, she said, hey, I have writer's block. And I said, you know, maybe it's time for her to bow gracefully. Because one thing about Kim should have said, you know what? I'm going to release one last studio album, and I'm done with rap. I'm going to focus on acting, fashion, other businesses, right? Because this rap stuff, this is the young people's game, and I'm up in age now. I'm a legend. So I'm going to move on and let the younger women, the younger cats take over. Do you think that she should pass the torch to these younger female artists that are out now? Do you think that she should retire?
I'm going to say this. That's a good question. I'm going to answer it. My first reaction to that is no. And I'm going to tell you why. Because she is an icon. She is an icon. So if she come back and her whole creativity is sparked back up, and she coming with some heat, I'm just gonna say keep coming with the heat, Nicki, because she stepped out. Her hiatus was a good amount of time. When she was on a hiatus, she was on a real hiatus. So she was well missed. She was well missed. And when she coming from, you know, when I get ready to hear the whole album, if it's fire, I'm gonna say no, it's not time to retire. And some people feel like, yeah, she needs to step to the side and give these other new girls a time to shine. She did that when she was on her hiatus. Y'all didn't do nothing. You got a certain rapper coming out she getting ad libs and she doing features with everybody and ain't doing nothing with it. It was a rapper that ended up going, I'm talking about Megan Thee Stallion. Shout out to Megan. But I'm saying like she bombed on all of that. Like Nicki she didn't leave and these girls just took over. Like another girl that came out and she damn near in the same category, like they comparing her to Nicki. What one rapper out here, Wiley, Conscious TV, what one girl out here they've been comparing to Nicki since she been gone?
I think they were comparing Megan to Nicki.
That ain't no comparison. Somebody was playing when they said that.
They were but you know what? Her bars, don't get me wrong, her music, the bars is great. But I just think when she came out, I would expect to see an album. She came out with an old mixtape. And it was dated. You know what I'm saying? We already heard this mixtape. And I'm like, man, I heard these songs before. And I heard it. And she put it on the streaming. What I think is, can she compete successfully with Megan and with Cardi? Can she compete with these women in this era? Because getting writer's block, that was a sign that maybe you're doubting yourself. Maybe you like, do I want to do this? Or should she just retire, take care of her baby, take chicken for her husband, and just say, I'm just done with it. I'm just done with the music. I'm going to get into something else.
What do you think,
when you say compare, like, what do you mean by compare? Because you brought up... Because you brought up...
When I say compare... I don't mean be like just
Wiley
like
was like saying not compete, not compare, but compete. Because Wiley was saying, can she compete? So my question to Wiley is, when you say compete, okay, you're talking about, can she compete against Megan Thee Stallion, who was a whole one-trick damn pony and can't talk about nothing about how good her pussy is while she can't keep a damn man and getting her damn feet blown off by the niggas who trying to damn stay around. Allegedly. Then you talking about, can she compete with Cardi B? Are you talking about Miss Payola? Are you talking about Miss superficially navigate the industry? Are you talking about the artist who looks to the back of the school book to get the answers in order to excel, while she's being compared to Nicki Minaj, who actually has put in the work to be good at what she does? Can she compete? She already has won the victory. The real issue is, are the issues within the industry going to repair themselves and really give Nicki Minaj her roses? Because when payola exists, that's an issue. When Billboard puts a nigga's album number one, and you have to default to number two, because Billboard decided that they wanted to include not only album sales and streaming sales, but wanted to include the sales of visors, pullovers, all his paraphernalia and memorabilia in order to... we got some issues. And so you got Nicki Minaj not per se completely responsible for why things look lopsided. Yes, Nicki Minaj is also not perfect. She got a bad attitude. Nicki Minaj can be very elitist. Nicki Minaj has had multiple people come out against her, from Cardi B, who had a completely disgruntled experience of her doing the motorsport collaboration. Safari even came out and said the reason why we broke up is because I start feeling less like a lover and start feeling more like an employee. She thought I was the work. And so you have Lil' Kim also, who knew Nicki Minaj before Nicki Minaj ever got commercialized, and also had very strange experiences and encounters with Nicki Minaj. A lot of passive aggressive single white female dynamics is what Lil' Kim said she experienced. And so as far as I'm concerned, you have insult to injury. Nicki Minaj also marrying a ex-con who is a murderer and a registered sex offender was not good for her career, to couple with the fact that there's been little things that has chipped away at her public relations. Even when her album, The Pink Print, came out and Roman's Revenge hit, You know, she allowed Eminem on Roman's Revenge to use the F word, the maggot. It rhymes with maggot, and her fan base is largely queer, and so. And when there was backlash against that, she took forever to finally respond and say, "I'm sorry." Like, it wasn't an immediate response. They had to keep hammering and so she's responsible in part for why things look crazy, but the industry is deeply corrupted. It's misogynistic. She's competing in a male-dominated system, and also the system itself has so many cheat codes that artists like Cardi B can capitalize off of, whereas artists like Nicki Minaj may not want to take the cheap route. She wants to really earn it, and she's pissed because she's competing honestly as an athlete. She's not taking the steroids. She's not doing all those things to exhale, and she's watching bitches who are get what it is she organically deserves, and she's mad as hell, and I can't blame Nicki for being mad. I mean, it's like...
Yes. That is so true, Conscious. And you know what, Wiley? What Conscious just said remind me of the situation. I'm not getting all off topic, but just comparing what he just said. The Kevin Samuels and Tommy Sotomayor, you know, he got a lot of Tommy's talking points, but he blew up with the situation. But he do use a lot of those talking points. So it's like when you got a certain person that I guess have more favor with the masses, those are the people who get pushed to the forefront. You know, comparing a person that's just real and spinning it the way they do, they want to try to own their own stuff and their own masters, and they don't want to get on certain platforms because they can't speak the way they want to. They'll want to stay in the back and still do how they do it when they do it, say what they want to say. Then you have Kevin Samuels that's, you know, he's saying certain stuff to women, but he's saying it in a certain way. So he's going to get pushed to the forefront before Tommy Sotomayor. Just like with Nicki. Nicki doing her own thing in her own way, but you got a Megan, you got a Cardi that's using payola and other things. So they're getting pushed to the forefront more.
And I want to say,
and is it the masses' fault that things have came like this?
No, it's the era is changing. Music change every they say every couple of years. Music change. So this is a new era. This is a brand new era. My question is, can Nicki and her fans go and support her like they supported her 10 years ago when she took over Kim? When she took over Kim. That is the question. And I honestly believe that she cannot compete in this era because she's not willing to do TikTok. She's not willing to change. You have to change your mindset in this era. This is a new, brand new era. You got the TikTok songs. Look at Soulja Boy. He just came out with a hot record on TikTok and brought some back into the mainstream, into the conversation as, damn, Soulja Boy, you got to know how to reinvent yourself. That's the one thing I like about Drake. He always know how to change with the times to stay relevant. If Nicki do not do that, she's going to be just sniffing that alcohol at home, sniffing that bleach,
you know what?
And come out and put on that wig and get on social media.
Stop it, Wiley. Stop it. Wiley, just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. Nicki ain't no TikTok type of chick. She ain't no TikTok chick. You're not going to see Nicki on there lip singing to a song doing no TikTok dance. Come on now.
She not gonna be able to.
She's too real for that. She's not gonna be TikToking.
When Cardi B is doing backflips and doing splits and whatever she's doing choreography, she's doing big budget as well as Megan. I'm not just gonna see Nicki Minaj just walking around standing there. It have changed. Like, we in a different era now. The girls are dancing. Well, they up 1, 2, 3, 4. Woo, woo, woo. They not they dancing. Go ahead,
Nicki Minaj is a performer, but Nicki Minaj is very clear about the fact that she's an actual rapper. That's where she gets her life from. I also think like that's another one of the issues with sexism, because we're seeing female artists, whether they are rap or pop or R&B, always have to go over and beyond in production and in performance, while these niggas get to go to number one just from walking around on a stage with a microphone rapping their verses. And so I think there's an issue with the sexism within the industry that has women doing more than what they should even have to do, because she should be able to just grace a stage and be Nicki and be in her fur and be in her 60 inches and pooch back and forth and tell you bitches that you all are her sons. Never fucking forget. And that should be enough. If that can be enough for 2 Chainz, if that can be enough for Jay-Z, if that can be enough for Kanye, if that can be enough for these niggas, it should be enough for us when it comes to these females.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
I hear you. They're not selling like that. 2 Chainz ain't really selling like that. Nas not really selling like that. Not even Jay-Z. But let's be clear. He knew when to get in other avenues other just rap. What I want to see Nicki is, I don't want her to end up like Kim. One of the major mistakes Kim made is she didn't know when to exit out of rap. Now she's still doing it. You can't. She just ain't selling at all.
Have you heard her? Have you heard the songs, Wiley? Have you heard Fraction? Have you heard?
I heard it.
Have you heard Seeing Green?
It was okay.
Just okay.
It was okay in my opinion. It could have been better. Could have been better. Her old mixtape, some of the old mixtape stuff sounded better than the new stuff. That's just my opinion. Yes, I was like, okay, but it could have been much, much better. And I would like to see her release a new album. Cardi B is going to release her follow-up album, and we will see who is going to sell more, who is the queen. As I do believe that Cardi is going back and forth on the queen title right now, but everybody keeps saying Nicki Minaj is queen. They said the same thing for Kim, but let's be clear. Who's relevant today in queen status? And I think we have to give it to Cardi, and we definitely have to give it to Megan. They're both dominating.
I'm going to be honest. Right now. I don't think Nicki Minaj's issue has to do with talent or being being the rap version of Beyonce. I think Nicki Minaj's issue is she's kind of complicated her life with her marriage, with the controversy around also her brother getting locked up for the same thing that her husband did time for. And I think that these things have impacted her public image, along with the fact that so many female artists also didn't feel welcome. They felt challenged by Nicki. They didn't feel she was approachable, I think. And then because all we had was Nicki Minaj for 10 plus years, I think people didn't know anything was missing until Cardi B came, and they realized we prefer someone who's approachable, down to earth, and relatable. And so when Cardi came into the game, down to earth, talking about and being honest enough to say, hey, my pussy smells like mustard today. How are you guys? Hi, like, yeah, I've been sucking dick back in the day. Like, she was able to be authentic and be friendly. You wanted to hang out with Cardi just on personality alone. That's why nobody cares that Cardi can't write her album, because they like Cardi as a person. And when you become the people's choice, it doesn't matter whether your talent is lesser than another bitch. It doesn't matter if you're the C student and you're going up against the valedictorian. Once you achieve being the people's choice, that's another level of competition. And so Nicki Minaj has to get out of this like athletic, left brain masculine thinking, and also think about the right brain shit, which is desirability and likability. That's what Nicki Minaj is ultimately missing. Her music taste, her writing, her rap execution, that shit is still on fucking point. I enjoyed the song. I was listening to that shit before we even got online. So as far as I'm concerned, hell yeah, she can still compete. But I think she got to clean up the public relations part, and she has to just come down a little bit and not take herself so seriously so that people can get into her a little bit more, and not from a place of ego, but from a real place of like, I really love Nicki Minaj in my heart. Like, not that like I like Nicki Minaj because she reminds me that I'm a bad bitch and that I'll fuck these hoes up and that I'm the baddest bitch in the room. But people need to know who Nicki Minaj is, and I think we still don't really know who Nicki really is. There's such a thick layer vivaciousness and spiciness that we still don't know who Miss Nicki really is. I think she needs that.
But I think when it comes to Nicki Minaj, I think if you are a diehard fan, if you go all the way back to 08, 09, on the album with Gucci, if you really listen to, Pink Friday, Dear Old Nicki, you listen to her music, she tells you who she is through her music. Just like she said, you know what type of drugs I do if you listen to my music. No, Nicki probably not the type that know how to start up an Instagram live. She probably she didn't even know how to add Drake to the live. She's not all that savvy with the computer thing,
Instagram. What Wiley was saying is that she gonna have to get with them damn times because and even Beyonce her career started to be impacted by such secrecy. So when social media hit hard, even Beyonce knew I'm going to have to come down off of such privacy and be a bit more involved socially and with my fans because, like Wiley was saying, the times change and there are certain aspects when the times change that are fundamental that if you don't incorporate them into what you're doing, the ship is going to sell and you're going to still be in the 70s and the 80s. And we're like 12
a lot of the 90s
decades in.
But people still like the 70s and 80s too. Right. And that's why we have throwback days. But you just can't try to completely get rid of it and erase history. She probably not just changing with the times. You right, but I love her. And that's what it is when it comes to a person that like you, they like you.
Right, and I feel you on that. I said the same thing about Kim. I said Kim need a new team to talk with today's industry mindset. You cannot compete with a 90s, 80s mindset. The market have completely changed. You got to do more than that. And so she wasn't willing to do that. And look what happened. When that new album came out, did not sell like it's supposed to sell, especially when you got all the millions of followers on your Instagram and on your Twitter. It didn't sell that right for Kim. That was sad. That was very sad numbers. I purchased the album, but it didn't because you got these old people talking about Biggie. If you still got people around that you hanging out with Biggie and all them, you got to get new people. That's why in the business they get new people to work in A&R. You know what I'm saying? Because you get that new ear for this new sound that is going on. And like for Nicki, another point for her, they criticize her for being late. She needs to work on that. Even I had to work on that because you can't always schedule a live. You show up an hour late, then you blame somebody. No, it's up to you. The same thing with Lauryn Hill. She always be late, and if people are coming to her, she's known of being.
And now late. Them damn checks are damn late. Now
that's true.
You see, so what I'm saying is, with Nicki, she's gonna need new people that make her likable. She needs to start doing shows, start doing YouTube. Let's see you doing a vlog of your day, taking care of it. We need to get an inside of her, inside of Nicki. Maybe she need a reality show. She needs something different. So we, as new fans or fans that are fans of her, and as well add on new people so they can get something different from Nicki. That's all I'm saying. I don't hate Nicki. I can't hate somebody that I purchase their music and I listen to their music and I dance to them. Even though I don't know all the lyrics, but I sure be dancing. But
that's true.
I don't hate, but her fans are aggressive. But
they are
seeing her music like that aggressively. When she had a tour, I heard in the grapevine she had a tour. She had to cancel it because the fans weren't buying the tickets. So, but if you criticize Nicki, they're right there. Oh, they criticize Justin J. Criticize his status. Y'all know Just Say King of Reeds. They criticized the man's status. They would just drag him all the way. So he had to make a video talking about Nicki Minaj with your fans. Like, they're very aggressive. I was called the F words by so many people that's in the community because it's a lot. Wow. And you're in the community, but I was being critical of Nicki Minaj. I was just being critical. That was it. I
see what you're saying. Sometimes being critical can make people up their game too. But another thing, people want her to be more personable and, perhaps show a little bit of motherhood and this and that. On the first live she got up on, it was somebody saying they're going to call CPS because she doing coke. So that would scare a person on trying to let them get up into that other side of your life. Like when you open up that side, you open up that side. You know, I know regular YouTubers, they got CPS called on them. You think Nicki,
You're right.
You think Nicki finna let you be personable in her life? You already talking about her husband. You talking about she do coke. Do you think this woman finna open up her door for you to come in there and see more? Come on in. Come see everything.
Well, she showed us a picture of her baby, and I guess she's trying. I give her that. But I will continue to support her. But I want to just thank y'all so much because this was a great episode. It was a great discussion. It's been a long time.
Can you actually put two damn men and a lady in the title? Because people were trying to figure out in the chat, is this two damn men and a lady or not?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna add it in the title after the video's done. But I had to add
this one man and two ladies.
Correct. Thank you for the correction, Katie.
So I just want to thank Katie. I want to thank Conscious. Y'all have just been great. Awesome. So tell us about you we talk one-on-one. Your YouTube to people to know to subscribe to your channel.
Oh yes, make sure you hit me up at Katie Talk 101 for everyday breaking news and a little bit of celebrity chat. I got a documentary coming up in another month or so. So make sure you go and hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the rest.
Conscious.
Of course, I'm Conscious TV. You guys know me. You can find me in my screen name. Just make sure it's Conscious with the Z. My platform is Absolute Nuts. We witch hunt people down and sue them. We talk about celebrity gossip. We talk about spirituality. My platform is just a big old mixtape. So just come on over and join the kingdom and get you some. Okay?
Yes. I want to say thank y'all. Make sure y'all thumbs up the video. We're going to try to do this weekly. It's hard to do panels because people are busy. People is booked and busy. I just got back from Atlanta, then I'm going out of town again to go to Chicago. So we all booked and busy. So we can keep this going. We would love to keep it going. So I just want to say thank you, Katie, and thank you, Conscious.
I enjoyed it so much.
Welcome.
This was such a good question that Katie, your personality is bomb.com.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much for letting me on the show, Wiley. Thank you so much.
All right, you guys. Y'all have a blessed one. We're done. We'll see y'all soon. Peace.